Welcome to the Monday Motivation with Eric and Friends podcast with your host, Eric F. King, featuring world-class speakers, coaches, and consultants. Join us every Monday as we dive into empowering conversations that motivate, inspire, and educate entrepreneurs. Kickstart your week with valuable insights that help you not just survive, but thrive. This is your go-to podcast to start your week strong and live your best life. Let's make Mondays the fuel for your success journey.
All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Eric F. King, and I am so excited to be here with you with my world-class speakers, Cassandra Terry, Leah Garcia, Amberly Shreve, and Annie Awesome. This is going to be a great day and a great topic, so buckle in, because today we are talking about what is your why? What drives you? Right? When things get tough, what keeps you in the game? What keeps you moving? Right? So we're going to talk about that today. And if you can, if you're watching us live, put your why in the chat. Let's hear. We want to know what your why is, and we're going to share ours. Share whatever you're comfortable sharing, but understand that it's your why that keeps you going. It's your why. It's not the amount of money you want. It's your why. All right. So let's get started. And as always, I love to start with our mindset, right? Because our mindset determines our thoughts and determines our actions, and our actions determine our results, right? And our, and those results is what we want, right? So I can't think of anybody better in the world to begin this discussion on your why. She is a mindset coach, a life coach. She has her own show. She is an author. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you all the way from Texas, Cassandra Terry.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. I am so glad to be here with my Monday morning crew. Eric, the great connector, put us all together, and it has been a joyful ride. And this particular topic is so important. As soon as I read it, I immediately I started to think, what's important? Why do I get up at 6 a.m., 5 a.m. to do this by 6? Why do I put out the content that I put out? Why do I keep doing things that sometimes feels like you're banging your head against the wall? You wonder, is anybody listening? Am I really getting through? Is it effective? And as those doubts come in, your why is the thing that is going to keep you moving forward. And when you believe that you know what your why is, you have to peel it back another layer until you can't get any closer to the core of who you really are and what motivates you. It's not about finding a why. It's about finding the ultimate why. And for me, my why has changed over the years. There was a time where if I was out front and I was doing things, it was because I was not in a good headspace. I was people pleasing. I needed the cheer of the crowd. I needed things to push me along. Right. And so when those things didn't come, guess what happened with whatever that activity was? It floated right away because it wasn't giving me the result that I needed. That alone shows you how important your why is. But as I've matured and I've found my cheering from within, my confidence from within, that gave me the opportunity to really peel back the layers and understand my true why. I can say I want to make a certain amount of money. I can say I want to live in a particular neighborhood. I can say I want to wear particular brands. All of those things are fine. There's nothing wrong with any of them, but I wouldn't die for those things. I wouldn't give my very last, my very best for those things. So I need to go back a layer. Why do I want the neighborhood? Why do I want the money? It took me all the way back to when my kids were getting school aged. It was my oldest daughter actually was getting into middle school. The neighborhood we lived in had a very good elementary school system. But when we got ready to go to the next school level, that school looked like a prison. That was the school that I volunteered at and tried to help children, but I could not imagine my child being there. So my why is my family. My why is the environment that I'm able to put them in. My why is the things that we're able to experience together as a family. So it's not that I need to make X dollars, but I do need safety for my family. I need a good school system for my children. I need to make sure that as much as possible, going back and forth to wherever we want to go is safe. So does that back into dollars? It does, because there's particular places where I want to be to create that environment, but it's not the dollars itself. It's the safety for my family. It's the experiences for my family. It's those things that really motivate me. And so when I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall, when I feel like I'm not getting the personal results that I want in that moment, I can still keep moving. I can make that next step because it's not for the cheer. It's not for something that's so, it's not for vanity or something that's so external. It's more, I need to get this done because there's security that I'm looking for my family. There are certain places that I want to be able to show them while they're young so that their experiences are broader than what mine was. So my why came down to something that was a core part of who I am as a person and who I am as a mom. And since that's not going to change, my core is what it is. The fact that I'm a mom is a fact that's not going to change. And my kids are adults now. And guess what I do? That they've taken that same type of mindset and they've applied it to their children. And I get to spoil my grandkids. I get to, be the grandma that takes them places, and we get to do things and we get to have these experiences together, and having enough freedom in my life to drop what I'm doing in the moment, job related, career related, and show up at school for an event. Be the one that gets to, read to the class. Those types of things were super, super important to me. In order for me to do them, I had to create a certain environment for myself. So knowing what your why is will keep you motivated. It will keep you focused. It will keep you committed. And when everything else around you and everything within you is saying, oh, just give it up, you take one look at that real why and connect to that, and up you go, taking that next step, continuing to move forward. So that's it for me, Eric. That's where my why comes from. And I just want to encourage you guys to not stop at that first level. Keep going deeper until you can't dig anymore and find that ultimate why. And when you're operating with that in the front of your mind, nothing will stop you from doing the things that you need to do in order to maintain the success that you're after. So I'm Cassandra Terry, mindset coach, completely focused on the inner voice. I say every day, the voice within wins. What you know to be true about yourself will drive your why and everything else to success or not. You have to believe it if you really want to achieve it. So you guys can catch me on all forms of social media. Primarily, I'm on LinkedIn the most, but I'm everywhere. This evening, we start the SOAR Challenge. So there's still time for you guys to join if you'd like to participate in that. We're going to dig into the elements of SOAR and make sure you understand it and you personalize it so that you too can soar and really implement that framework into your life. All right, Eric, back to you.
Thank you so much. Wow, there's no better way to kick off this topic than what you shared. Thank you so much. Definitely put in the chat more about your SOAR event. I'm sure people will want to chime in. All right, so we're going to keep on going. Welcome, Coral from across the pond. Welcome, Latoya from Atlanta. I know there are so many people on LinkedIn right now, but we're not hearing from you. So put it in the chat. Let us know you're here. And if you want to, share your why in the chat. All right. So let's keep going. Our next speaker is a financial expert. She's a financial strategist. And, Cassandra was talking about all the things that, that constitutes her why. And she said something. She said money will help her get those things. Did you hear that? It was subtle, but it was there, right? She needed money to actually get those things she's talking about. You can't be broke and live in a real nice neighborhood. It's not going to happen, right? You can't be broke and have your kids go to the best schools, right? So that's why it's important to talk about money. And I brought one of the best people that I know that can talk about money and can help you with your finances. All right. She's a financial expert. She helps you make money, save money, invest money, all the way from California, where it is 4 a.m. right now, 4:10 p.m. The floor is yours, Leah Garcia.
Thank you so much, Eric. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here on this Motivation Monday, and I am so excited. I love this topic. I was up super early this morning because I was just so excited about it. And my why, I have to tell you a story. I grew up in the east side of San Jose on food stamps and welfare. And, poverty area, gangs, and all those things. And I saw this commercial on the TV. And the announcer said, if you spray Windex on your windows, your whole world will sparkle. Now, it might sound super corny, but this is so true. I was 5, maybe 6 years old. I begged my mom for Windex, and she tried to give me the off-brand. I needed, I wanted the real brand, and I would just shine up the windows because for me, that was something that I can control, and I was seeing into my future. I didn't want that for the rest of my life, right? That's the way I grew up, but I didn't see that as being all I could ever have. And so for me, that's why my one-page financial plan, it's not just a diagram. It's not just something in theory. It's something that I practice. It's something that I teach my clients because creating this generational wealth is not a DIY project. It actually requires systems and strategies and be able to do that because there are a cornucopia of different ways that you can earn money. There are a lot of different things you can do, stocks, 401ks, Bitcoin, and all of these different things. But there are only a few ways that you can properly protect, distribute, and transfer your wealth. That requires a strategist. That requires a financial plan. It requires somebody who's going to teach you and show you the strategies on how to do that. And when you're protecting that wealth, you've earned some money. So at some point, we got to put some bumper rails on that. At some point, we can't afford to go through another stock market drop or loss or correction. At some point, you put this money and you've accumulated this wealth, but you're going to want to start to distribute that wealth and spend that wealth, right? I call it a spending plan. And then when you're gone and you go to somewhere much better than here, you're going to want to transfer that wealth and create generational and multi-generational wealth. That seed that you've planted, that's grown and blossomed into this wonderful tree, this wealth tree. Now we have to transfer that and distribute it to our children so that it doesn't die with us. It shouldn't die with you, generations and generations. So, and people who tell me all the time, oh, Leah, money isn't that important. And you know what? That's true. It's not everything, but it's right up there with oxygen. So with that, I send it back to you, Eric F., King of Collaboration.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That was powerful. Thank you so much. Wow. People are already putting in their whys in the chat. I'm going to get to them in a minute. We appreciate you, Leah, as always. And we're going to keep on going. So the next speaker that's coming up today hails from Maryland and known her for several years now. She is an expert on building relationships. All right. Now, so she teaches you how to communicate with other business owners, how to build long-term relationships that lead to obviously sales and more money and all of that. Right. She's one of the best that I've ever seen. All right. So I'm going to go to our business communication expert all the way from Maryland, Mrs. Amberly Shreve.
Thank you, Eric and Leah, Cassandra, Annie. It is such a pleasure to be here with all of you. And, my why is pretty simple. It is with God first and foremost, and then my family, because without God, guys, I can't do it. Like, I'm going to screw it up. It's going to be so bad because that's how we do stuff, right? And those things are so important to me that it's all Christ-centered. So let me just sit back for a moment and close your eyes. And let me ask you, when is the last time somebody asked you what you wanted and why you really wanted it? And when you sit there and you think about, okay, why do I really want this? Is it that ego creeping in? Is it really something that I have been dreaming about for years and years and years? What is really driving you in this moment? Is it your family? Is it your life dreams? Is it your goals? Is it the most impactful messages that you are receiving from others and what you are sharing with others? Because believe it or not, we have such an impact on the people around us. Um, we have impacts on how we relate to others and why we are doing what we're doing. So a lot of the reasons that drive my success are perseverance, it's ambition, it's innovation, it's hard work, it's resilience and adaptability, it's it's dedication, communication, and collaboration. Those are all a part of the reasons why and what drive my success is because in order for me to have success, all of those things need to take place because you can't just do things on our own, right? We need community. We need people around us that really understand our hearts, that really understand what it is that we're going after and what is going to make us a whole. So when you think about how your needs are being met and you think about the list of things that really you want to achieve your needs, what does that entail? How are your needs going to be met? What's going to drive your success? And how are you going to achieve these goals? So you know that you need ambition. You know that you need perseverance because challenges are going to come. You know that you are going to need adaptability and dedication because nothing's easy. Nothing worth having is easy. And if it were easy, well, you know, everybody out there would be doing it. So you know how hard it is. So you have to really dive in deep and figure out what is going to help you to achieve these goals. And sitting back and really realizing, okay, I absolutely, these are non negotiables. And in order for my needs to be met, these things have to take place. And you're going to realize that over a period of time, and you've actually sat down and thought about, get curious about what you want, what your needs are. Because when you come from a place of curiosity, you really realize more about yourself. You know, when I was younger, I would have never been curious about my life. I just kind of would have went through. And again, Cassandra, I take one off of you. I was a people pleaser. But you know, I'm not anymore. I've moved out of those people pleasing areas in my life, and I'm very, very focused on the things that are important to me and putting God and myself first. Because if I am not in a place where I can fulfill my own needs, how in the world am I going to show up for others in the best way possible? So figuring out what your why is, figuring out how you're going to achieve the things that mean the most to you. Sit in that space for a little while and really figure that out and write it down and have it close to you so that you can look at it every day and be an absolute reminder of what you're looking to achieve. So, friends, I leave you with this. Be curious about your life. Go after all of your dreams, the things that you're searching for, the things that you're striving to be, because you are incredible and I believe in you. And you are wonderfully made and you are chosen and you deserve everything out there. So you can reach me on all the social media sites. Please reach out. I'd love to connect with you, talk with you about what you're looking to achieve, and let's have a conversation about your follow up, what you're needing in your life to help you be the best expansion of yourself. I hope for you all a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful week. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you, Amberly. That was magnificent. Thank you so much. We appreciate you as always. And we're going to keep the conversation going. I see people putting in their whys in there. I see Latoya. I put that up there. Coral, you know, put your why up there. Let us see what your why is, what motivates you, what drives you, what keeps you going. All right. So what I'm going to do is share my why with y'all. And one thing that Cassandra said that really resonated with me is your why changes over time. It changes. I remember when I was in my 20s, I think my middle 20s, mid 20s, and I was so broke at one point that I would go to the grocery store and I used to buy a lot of Roman noodles because they're cheap. They're cheap and I can eat them. I can have, buy just, I can spend a little money and have food for the whole week. But I would be at the counter at the register, and as they're putting my food, the items through, I'll notice I don't have enough money. So I start telling them to take things off. Yeah, I don't need that anyway. Take that off. Oh, take that off too. Take that off. And I'll take all these things off. And I was driving a car. It had no AC. It had no AC. I couldn't afford that. And if I hear something in the car that's like maybe some rattling noise, I don't even look at it because I don't have the money to fix it. And so I don't even look at it because I don't even have the money to fix it. And I don't want to talk to the mechanic because he's going to charge me. So I just pray about it. Yeah, I was just that broke. And my why was just to be able to pay my rent on time and to have a car that works and to have enough food. Right. But as years went on, I got into personal development and I began to think differently, using like Cassandra's tips, right? Before I knew Cassandra, right? And then it started to change my life, right? And then it started to change. Then I got into business. I started making more money. Then my why changed. Okay. Then my why became about family, right? About children, about how I can change their lives, right? And make their life, more like an extraordinary. When I was a kid, my dad was so busy. He was a realtor, very, very smart man, very hardworking guy, but he never had time to come to my soccer games or anything like that. Like he loved me, and to show his love, he had to work. So my why was, look, when I get older, I'm going to show up for everything for my kids because my dad loved me, like I said, and he showed up like once or twice. And I'll never forget those 2 times. I will never forget. So I decided I am going to build a business big enough so I never have to tell my kids that I have to go to the job. And guess what? Because of that, I've never missed my kids' events. All 3 of my boys are athletes. I have never missed an event. In fact, my youngest one, he's a star soccer player. I'm getting him into a travel team, and we're going to travel around the country together while he's playing soccer, right? So that was my why. But guess what? When I accomplished my why, to have the time freedom, to have the money, to have the house by the beach, when I accomplished all of that, then I said, you know what? I have a bigger purpose. I want to help thousands of entrepreneurs achieve their whys. I want to help thousands of people around the world achieve their whys so they can have what they want. They can travel the world. My son was saying that he's been to 8 countries. He's what, 10 years old, 11 years old, right? I want the people that come into my world to say that because of Eric, I was able to change my life, and my kids have the life they want, whether they pay me or not. Like, there are people on this call that will benefit from what we're doing, even though they're not paying us a dime. That has become my why, to help people, entrepreneurs, change their lives and help themselves, their families, and generations to come. So that's my why, folks. So I am going to keep moving because I could talk about this all year. That's my why. So let's go now to our next speaker. Thank you so much, all the people that have joined. I'm going to shout you out in a second. So our next speaker is a gentleman who has helped me achieve my why. He's helping all of us achieve our whys, right? I met him on LinkedIn, and he helped me create audio rooms and get to more people and know a lot of people. And he is a marketing genius. He makes you famous. That's what he says, right? He makes you famous, and he's making me famous, right? So I want to send it over to Britain. where they talk like this. They're very proper in Britain. I'm gonna send you to my good friend Annie Awesome. Go ahead, my friend.
Oh, honestly, introduction like that. No, thank you so much, Eric. Great to be here as always on a Monday with all of you. So, your stories, your whys are very inspiring. I might take a bit from all of you. I think the fact that your why evolves for sure. So I'll explain why. And to mine, oh wow, there's always a story to tell. Now, I was mulling over what I tell you today, right? And here's how I'm going to tell you. Listen, I grew up in a family of geniuses. So my granddad was a global doctor, literally a doctor around the world, minister, Secretary of State for Health in Nigeria. When I was a kid, it's like, wow, you're big. If you know, anyone who knows Nigeria means that's status, right? He had his own hospital. I had 9 uncles and aunties. I think we had seven doctors, a lawyer and an architect. Long and short, my dad is a surgeon. My mom runs Nestle right now. So it's like, wow, how weird. So we always had this influence of being gifted, being clever, right? So that's how my sister and I have lived all this time. So we came back. I lived in Nigeria for from baby to 13. But I guess we knew we were gifted. I guess we came to live with our dad, and the poor man lost his mind. He lost his mind because he couldn't understand how such gifted kids could not win game shows at 13 on telly. Like, leave us alone. We're not even playing. You do it yourself, right? And he literally lost his mind. And with that, anyway, so this is where the why starts from, right? Knowing I have a gift, I'm clever, I can work things out, and hell, I like doing. I love to do stuff. I just love to do stuff, right? It's called being creative, really. That's what excites me every day. So like Amberly said, I'm committed to my gift. This passion I have for doing stuff, I will do until it makes an impact. That's part of my why, right? Then bring it around to the fact that, okay, all of that means I'm successful already. I don't really need to work, but I'd love to use my gift to help people. Because I can. Why not? If I can use my gift to make people's lives better, why wouldn't I do so? So I do. That's why I wake up every morning. On the back of that, I've got 2 kids. I've got 3 kids, 2 older ones, one 15-year-old. Now, when he knows how gifted and I am, and he is too, I must show him that he can work his way to greatness. That's what part of the reason I get up every day. And luckily for me, he wants to be a doctor, so it's working. He understands positivity. He lives a life of constant joy. That comes from embodying that person that I am, that I want, that he can be, and achieving for greatness, striving for greatness. So I may say, maybe my last why really is, I want to build a legacy. Let's face it. I've asked myself before, during COVID especially, if I died tomorrow, who would care? What would they say about me? Would they even realize I'm dead? Right. That fuels me more than anyone probably realize. Because, like I said, we're all gifted, right? We all have special skills, unique gifts that were divinely given. You can either use that gift or you can let it go. And just waste it. And again, the question for all of us is, if you never use your gift for the world, what impact is that going to have on people? Whereas if you do use your gift for the world, think what could happen. You can change lives. We do this every day, my friends. This is why I get up and do what I do every day. I want people to know me for helping people to write their books. That's evolved over the years. I wanted to be a doctor. Now it's the case. I want to help you write your books. I want to help you do audio rooms. I want to make you famous. Right. So my why is complicated, but in my mind, it makes perfect sense to me. You know, and I love living it every day. I'll leave you with that.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. That was powerful. That was powerful. You know, there's nothing like being in this group of people. You know, you all have great ideas and I learned so much from you all. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the questions. We have several questions. I want to shout out some people here for being on. Sri, welcome, welcome. By the way, we have more people on LinkedIn than ever before. You can check my LinkedIn. You can check right now. And ever before. We have more people on YouTube. We have people on others. You know, some of you have are live on Instagram. We have more people than ever before. And why is that? Because we give value every Monday morning. We give value, and people are learning. People are growing. People are telling me that I cannot start the week without this call. So thank you to my world-class speakers for making that happen. Okay. And then now we're probably going to get a couple thousand people watch it in the next few days on the recording replay, right? So let's keep it going. Share this good news with people, all right? Because people need it, especially today. Welcome, Sri. Good to see you, Alexis. Good morning, Latoya. Good to see you. Dominique Edmonds. Good to see you. Welcome. Welcome, Tanya Vincent. My good friend Tanya Vincent in Nigeria is here. She's another marketing genius. She's especially on LinkedIn. Beth Ann, welcome, welcome. Alexis, Tony, welcome. We have people from all over. Sue, thank you for your comments, Sue. Miranda, thank you. Thank you for your comments. All right. So we're gonna get Paulette. Good to see you. Agbenga, welcome. Welcome to everybody, and definitely put your why in the chat. This is helping all of us. All right, so let's get to the questions. We have several questions. Let me see who was the first question. Latoya was the first question. She says, what's the one piece of advice or mantra that has consistently fueled your motivation, even in the face of challenges or setbacks? That's very good. Very good. So who would like to dive into that question? Leah, go ahead. And then Cassandra.
Yeah, I love this question. I read a book recently by Jamie Kern Lima, and it's called Worthy. And she said that a setback is really when you have these things and people tell you no, it's really what it really is rejection is God's protection. Maybe there was something that was not there for you. God saw something down the road that it wouldn't have gone the right way for you, for your best and your greatest version. And so when those things happen to me, that immediately is my default. Rejection is God's protection. There's something bigger, better, and greater in store for me. And that's really helped me. And also, if you haven't got Cassandra Terry's book, there's so many things in there that are going to really help you. And one of her favorite quotes, Cassandra has so many amazing quotes, but one of my favorite quotes from her, she said, you got to do it scared. You got to do it with shaky legs. You got to do it even if your voice trembles. And I would say, even if people say no to you, even if there are setbacks, they're there to help you to grow. There's a lesson, there's a seed of a benefit if you look for it in that adversity. So that's my share, Eric, and I'll send it back to you.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate that as always. Cassandra, go ahead.
Yes. So when I was reading this question, thank you for it, Latoya. It took me back to when my kids were little. Actually, they were probably middle school, high school, and they were involved in sports. So I've got some D1 athletes as well, Eric, who played college ball and paid for their education that way. So you can imagine the amount of commitment and motivation it took to keep you up your grades while you're doing all these things. And I taught them Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. I anchored them in something that was unchanging. I anchored them in something that was bigger than any problem, that was bigger than anybody's opinion, that was bigger than everything. I gave them something that I couldn't give them. Sometimes mom's going to get it wrong. Sometimes mom's not going to be in a good mood and she may respond in a way that's not the best way. She's not infallible. But if you believe in something that's bigger than yourself, that's bigger than all of us, you can find the strength to keep moving forward. So I anchored my children in the word, just like my grandmother anchored me in the word. And my niece ran track, and when she moved from some of the sprints to the longer races, I told her just to say, when you start to get tired, start to say that verse over and over again with the pat. Every time your feet hit, you get the rhythm of that, and say that verse and let that reverb through your body and motivate you and keep you going. So to sum it up, your why and your beliefs need to be bigger than your fears. They need to be bigger than you, and they need to call you and be that voice that's whispering to you when everything else is telling you that you can't. Sometimes it's even yourself. It's your own inner voice. But when you have that bigger connection, you can keep moving. So find your why and anchor yourself in something that's bigger than you, and you'll sail through whatever comes your way. It won't be easy, but it'll get done.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much, Cassandra. That was powerful. Absolutely powerful. And it made me think about my mom, because I don't talk about her a lot because she's not a business person. I don't use her as a business reference. But my mom introduced me to the Lord. She introduced me to believing in God, believing that He is your rock, right? She always talks about John 10:10, I've come so you may have life and have it more abundantly. And when I see that, I say to myself, God wants me to have more. God wants me to have abundance. That's why I don't look at negativity. I don't watch the news, all of that, because that's just the opposite of what God wants for us, right? So the abundance part is huge. It's huge. That fuels me because I know there's more out there to help people, to accomplish, to live a true life of abundance, to have everything you possibly can have. Do you know you can have everything you want? Do you know that? You may not even know that. Let me be the first to tell you, if you don't know. You can have everything you want. Yes, you can. If you don't think so, that's because you're reading the wrong books. You're hanging around the wrong people. That's why you don't believe so. So that's just by the way. I wasn't even gonna get into that. But anyway, let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Annie, did you have something to say?
And I put my hand up late. Latoya, you are the greatest. There you go, Latoya. We didn't all the room together on Thursday, by the way. So, thanks to Eric. At least we're friends now as well. Right. I think that, look, for me, I think I've learned that life is always full of challenges. So I've learned to embrace those challenges. You have to. I look forward to them. Nothing grows, in your comfort zone. Literally, nothing grows. So, and I love the whole the concept and the reality that we learn when things seem to have gone wrong. You might mix that with the reality that what we want success is on the flip side of what looks like total failure. Seriously, literally, no. We want to get rich. We think, right, why am I so poor? It's not happening. Whereas your success, your richness is on the other side, because you must feel that poverty to enjoy your success when it comes. So that's that sort of thinking. Cassandra's lessons, as you say, Leah, all day long, right? We have to embrace the way our mindset really works. And the reality is, whether it's God, whether it's spirit, whether the universe, there's a greater power that gives us whatever we want when the time is right for us. For that reason, I just carry on working until, and again, last one I'll say is that we never see what's happening until we look back. Things only make sense when we look backwards. When we're in the midst of disaster, as we see it, it looks bad, right? When we look back a year later, as you said earlier, I think it was Leah and Amberly, right? Things happen for a reason. We've been protected. And, and when you look back, you realize everything is probably for our own good. That's a way to look at life. That's how life really works. Absolutely. So I just carry on until I just carry on, full stop, right? There's no end until we stop. I'll leave it at that, Eric.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And you're right. Sometimes we go through things, but we don't understand that we're supposed to. It's going to help us, right? My kids wondered, like, sometimes if we go to the grocery store and if the person, I've done this a couple of times, the person in front of us didn't have enough money for everything, and they're looking at some things to take back. And I always say, well, is it okay if I just pay for those for you? And I always ask them, is it okay if I just pay for the rest? And usually they say yes. And my kids wonder, like, why would you just pay stuff for a stranger? It's because I remember being there. I remember being there, you know, and and I feel that it's my obligation to give back, to do something to help that person, because I know how they're feeling. It's embarrassing, number one. Number two, you want this stuff, but you can't have it, so now you're taking it back. It hurts, right? So when we get to the other side and we have what we want, then it's our obligation to help people, to bring them up, to where we are. I feel that if you don't do that, you're just selfish, right? You're just selfish. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there. All right, so let's keep going. Let's keep going. The next question I have here is Coral from across the pond. How does a person find and recognize their why for success? That's good. How do they find and recognize their why for success? Go ahead, Amberly.
Well, I touched a little bit about it on when I was speaking, but I really think, Coral, and such a great question, so thank you. But I really think it's getting curious with yourself, because when you sit with yourself and really wonder why you want what you want and where you want to be, you have to really sit and think about what it is that your is the end result, um, and it may not be the end result. It may just be what it is now. And I really think sitting in that space for a while, I don't think that a lot of people do that. I don't think a lot of people actually allow themselves enough time to really figure out why they want what they want, and get curious about their life, and get curious about their needs, and get curious about who they are, in order to have those type of thoughts, have thought-provoking conversations, have conversations with colleagues and family members, and just say, hey, when's the last time somebody ever asked you what you wanted? Or what defines success for you? And that could be, it doesn't have to be just money. Maybe it's a home. Maybe it's you're looking to achieve this course, or you're trying to get through schooling, or you're achieving this ultimate goal with your spouse. Maybe you both have been working so hard on each other, and the end result is that you both are working together as a team, versus maybe before you had things that were driving wedges. Maybe you had toxic relationships. Maybe you had people that were not serving you properly. Maybe there were things there that did not make sense anymore. So really think about why you're doing what you're doing. What is driving your success, and sit in that and get curious about it, because I think you will look at things a little bit differently.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amberly. Appreciate it. Appreciate your comments. I think Cassandra, go ahead.
I think Annie was next. Annie, did you have your
I
hand raised?
Annie, did you put your hand up, Annie?
I'll let you go first, Cassandra.
Okay.
Ladies first.
You see, Annie, your hand motion is too quick. You go like this. the women go like this. You need to be a little more.
I will learn.
You have to make sure. Make sure. I appreciate you being a gentleman.
Go ahead, Cassandra.
Thank you, Annie. Thank you, Eric. Love this question, Coral. And I want to introduce you to a method called the 5 Whys method. And it may be, for you, it could be less or more than 5. But the idea is, when you ask yourself what you want, I want to make $1 million. Why? Because I want to travel the world. Why? I want to show my family how large the world is. Why? I want them to have a bigger existence than what I have. and be able to see how blessed they are, because there's people all over the world in different situations. Why? And you keep going until you can't answer the why. And that helps you to peel it back and to really get down to that core why that I was talking about. And then when you find that thing, that real thing that's underneath all of the things that you say you want, that's what really drives you. That's what you can lean on when you feel stuck or frustrated. That's what will help you keep moving forward when you really feel like giving up. So keep asking yourself why to the question until you can't find another answer, and then you've hit that root cause of why you're existing and what really motivates you.
That was powerful. Wow, I just wrote that down. Now I can teach my students, right? Go 5 levels deep. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I learned so much from this. Look, if none of you showed up, I'd show up just to get this stuff. I would show up to get this information from these people. Awesome. Eddie, go ahead.
Yeah. If you know how long it took me to articulate my why, I think we know what's within our souls. We know what's within our hearts, really. But getting it out is the hardest thing ever. Cassandra's way definitely works. I think it took me 3 days, probably wrote about 100 different whys. And when I started asking the question, why do I want that? Why do I want? I realized half the reasons would not give me joy. They will not give me a sense of fulfillment. And I think that's what your why comes down to. It's finding that thing that really makes your heart sing. That's why I describe it, right? What's that thing that you can do, that you do, that really makes you, overjoyed? So when you find that thing, if you can mix that thing with your skill, your gift, everything comes down to this gift that we have, right? When you can mix what gives you joy with your skill, then we call it passion, because you love doing it. You do it for free if you had to, but essentially you can do it for making money as well, of course. And when you find that passion, doing that thing more and more just becomes easier and easier. There's more. Every time you do it, there's more joy. Making ourselves feel truly happy. Feel that joy. Maybe also that inner peace that comes with knowing we're doing what we should be doing. We're knowing what we're gifted to do. We're knowing what we're on here to help people with. And I say, for me, all that comes down to helping people. Only helping people gives me true joy. And I said, helping ourselves, making money, of course. That's helping my family, right? That's doing the work of my legacy, working on things I need, things I want. We're helping people, and we're watching how you can change their lives with your solutions. That's where all our whys really stem from.
Absolutely.
Let me stop talking.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Annie. And it's amazing that a lot of people, they figure, look, I don't have time to try and help other people. Like, I need to make money now. I need to, be successful. And I used to think like that. When I went in my early 20s, I used to think, like, I'm just going out, I'm going to hustle and make a boatload of money. Like, I don't have time to be helping people. Like, who has time for that? But guess what? I wasn't making any money. If you chase the money, it will run away from you.
See, but Eric, people bring you the money.
Exactly.
They make sense to help them. That will they give you the money that they want to pay for what you do.
Money comes from people.
I tell you.
But yeah. So if you go around, you're like, I just want to hustle and hustle and hustle. Most people hustle, but most people are broke. That's not the formula. That's not the formula. So yeah, but I'm glad you said that. So let's keep on going. We have about 10 minutes. I do want to mention before
you might want to go to Leah before you get to the end. Leah put her hand up on that one. Leah.
Did Leah put up her hand? Oh, go ahead, Leah. I'm sorry, I didn't see you.
That's okay. I love what Annie said, and this whole panel has just been incredible. I took a ton of notes myself, and Annie touched on it is stating your gifting and knowing your gifting. And in this incredible book, Soar Beyond Limits, there's an incredible exercise in there to help you to really unpack and discover and really to embrace your gifting. That for me was so profound. I thought I thought, I'm going through this book and it's incredible. And I got to that, and that exercise really stopped me in my tracks. It really required me to go back and really do some work and some homework. So let's soar in 2024. That's what I wanted to say.
All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right. So we have a couple more questions. Now, I want to push some people here, because that's what I do. Like, I push you to your greatness, right? Push you. Right? I want some people that have never asked a question to put a question in there. Okay. We're getting questions from the same people, right? And some of you right now, there's somebody right now listening to this and saying, I have a question. Guess what? Just put it in the chat. No question, stupid. Okay, just put it in the chat. All right. In the meantime, I want to tell you about an event that's coming up that I'm so excited about. It's going to be on May 17th and 18th. I will put it in the chat. Latoya, if you can help me with that. It's called Fun, Food, and Fellowship. It's going to be in Washington, D.C. On Friday, we're going to have a premier dinner cruise. Okay, it's going to be beautiful. We're going to be on the Potomac River. There's a 3-course meal. You're gonna get the 360-degree view of DC. It's beautiful. So that's on the Friday. On the Saturday, we have a business mastermind and workshop. You think this is good? That is going to be great, because you're going to be in the room live with other people talking about topics like this, learning and growing together. Okay, that's a free event. That one will be on Saturday the 18th, and the details will be in the chat. So just click on the link. And then last but not least, on the 18th in the evening, we have the Promote Your Business Meetup 5th year anniversary. A lot of the people that I met through the meetup. Okay, Amberly is one of them, right? And we will be there. We're gonna have a lot of fun. There's gonna be food, awards, entertainment, games, music. If you would like to dance, you'll be able to dance on the dance floor. I already know people I called will be there. I know Amberly has registered. There's so many people here. Actually, Alexis has registered. There's a lot of people here that are coming. Okay, and you want to be in the room with them. We're gonna have a lot of fun. So if you can make it to DC, it's about a month from now. Come on down, you'll have a good time. All right. So let's see if we can put it in the chat. 1 second here. Just want to make sure that is there so you all can register. All right. We do have some tickets left. All right. So that's what I just want to mention that. All right. So let's get to any other questions. Let me see if there's anybody else that asked a question here. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Well, okay. So let's go up to, I did see a question by Alexis, I believe. Let's see. Okay. Wow. The chat is much longer than usual. Like, we got a lot of people here. This is awesome. This is exciting. Alexis, yes, I'm going to put her question up here. Now, I'm going to also welcome, let's see, Sue, welcome. Good to see you. Who else? Welcome, welcome, welcome. There's so many people here. Paulette, welcome. Kelly R. Little, good to see you. Welcome. Peter O, welcome. We have people from all over the world. This is exciting. Brian Bing, good to see you. Good morning from Atlanta. Yeah, I used to live there. Atlanta, Georgia. All right. DC is too far for UK. Well, we have UK people coming. I just want you to know, Sue. So you don't have to come, but people are coming from the UK. Just want to let you know. I appreciate you. All right. So the next question is this. And by the way, if your why is strong enough and it includes being around people that will help you out, then show up at our event, right? It's all about priorities. That's all. By the way, everybody on this call can make it, unless maybe there's an issue where they won't give you a visa. That's the only, and if they don't give you a visa, they don't give you a visa. But all right. So Alexis Skoloff Jim says, "What is the power of knowing your why, and why is it important to remember your why?" Okay, I can see Amberly is ready to go. She's like, bam. All right, go ahead, Amberly. Go ahead.
This is so important, because you guys, I have been there. I didn't even know who I was. I would wake up, if somebody asked me who I was years ago, I would say, I don't even know. I don't even know. And I had to do the work. I had to figure it out. I had to write it down. I had to look at it every day. I had to remind myself, what is my why, and what am I looking to achieve? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And then I met Eric, and I went to his meetup, and it was absolutely life-changing. That's all I can tell you is you have to find out who you are and do the work. Because if not, you are not going to find out what you want and what you're looking to achieve. And if you don't write it down and look at it every single day, it's that 1%. And I'm not sure if LeBron said it or Kobe, one of them said it, but it's the 1%. It is that little bit that you are doing each day in your life, in your business, in yourself. And then you look back a month from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, and look at all that you achieved. And I'm telling you, sweet friends, it is going to happen. And you're going to look back and say, I cannot believe where I am today. So please get curious about yourself and really find out why you want what you want. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Anybody else? We do have another question that I'm going to bring up. Go ahead, Leah. Go ahead, Leah.
Yeah, I'll just share this really quick. Knowing your why should really speak deep in your spirit and your soul. I was, whenever I'm with my precious grandson, he's 5 years old. I say he's high five, right? We always do the high five. And one of our routines is we have story time. We read our books and we have story time. Thank you, Jay. And he said to me this weekend, he said, Gams, he calls me Gams, I love our story time. And even now that just gives me so chills. It's like, that's the why, right? That's the why, being able to bring those stories to him and share that time with him. So that's what I want to share, Eric. Send it back to you.
No problem. No problem. Thank you so much. Real quick, I'm going to call on Annie, but I want to put this question up because the question we're actually talking about now, I mean, we've actually talked about it before. So this, and I know someone, Michael, I think his name is Michael, said, what are the principal questions you ask when resolving your why? So that's the last question we'll discuss as we're about to close up. So go ahead, Annie. And then, by the way, since we're rounding up, Annie, once you make your response, also tell us how we can reach you, how people can reach you, get to know you, get to learn from you.
Cool. Look, you can reach me on LinkedIn. That's I put my LinkedIn profile in the chat, so it could be easier for everyone. I'm sure I'm connected with many people here already, so I could always do with a few more friends, of course. And I value everyone, but do connect with me. Look, my friends, I think Amberly mentioned it perfectly there, and of course, you both did, Leah, as well. And I think it's that it's your knowing your why is what gives you the resolve to do that extra 1% every day. It's what makes you get out of bed. It's what fuels you. It's what makes you learn. So life is not easy. We mentioned earlier, there's always challenges, right? When you know your why, it's almost like it's going like on holiday, right? You have because you have a destination. You have maybe you have a hotel. You know where you're going. It means you're gonna get there, come hell or high water. If they say to you that road is closed, you find another road. If they say to you that airline's not running today, the one you booked on, you find another one because you know where you're going. You have a destination in mind. This is the segment of why in our lives, right? When we know our why, it's like a sat nav. We know what to focus on. We know what drives us. From that, we can be creative. So we can find the right people that we need to find. So maybe the thing we haven't said today is that you can manifest the results you want. If you know your why, then you can essentially call in what you really want. If you don't articulate your why, you're not clear yourself. Then you can't you can't attract what you want in life. Absolutely. That's why I think it's so important to know your why, articulate it, and dare to speak it out to yourself and to others.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Andy. Appreciate it. All right. So we are now at 8 o'clock. So we actually end at this time. So I'm just going to go around the room real quick, starting with Cassandra. how everybody can reach you, get to, especially since you have an event, I think, today. So go ahead, Cassandra, and then we'll go around.
All right. So you guys can reach me on all the socials. I'm busy on them all, but especially on LinkedIn. And if you go to thevoicewithinwins.com/SOAR challenge, that will give you the opportunity to join the challenge that'll be happening over the next 4 days, where we'll really dig into the framework that Leah has been mentioning from the SOAR Beyond Limits book. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate you. All right. Who would like to go next? Tell us how we can reach you. Leah, go ahead.
Yeah, definitely my best social platform is LinkedIn, but I also have a YouTube, The Wall of Wealth. We do the Money Minutes, and truly reach out to me for my free ebook. I'd love to give you my free ebook, The Wall of Wealth, which is my one-page financial plan. Back to you, Eric.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Who is next? And by the way, put your information for all of you speakers, put your information in the chat. I just put up Leah's. Who would like to go ahead? I think Amberly. Go ahead, Amberly.
Yeah, you all can reach me on all the socials, on Instagram and TikTok at Beach Girl Shreve, but under my name on Facebook. Keep on sharing, Lineable, LinkedIn. You can find me there. And I do have an event coming up in July. I am going to have the Eventbrite next week for everyone. So get excited about that. It's going to be on July 13th. And I hope that everyone has a beautiful week.
Awesome. Awesome. Appreciate you. Okay. So I think everybody's gone. So real quick for me, you can reach me on LinkedIn is the best place to find me, Eric F. King. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm all over. But LinkedIn is probably the best way to reach me. For those of you that want to learn more about my studio events, because I'm coming up with a new one soon. I'm actually looking for a few more speakers. Go to studiospeaking.com, and then you can see clips of our last one. We had a great event. You'll see clips of our last one. All right. So I just want to, that's about it. I want to just close up. We're 2 minutes over, and I want everybody to be able to go back to either work, business, taking the kids to school, whatever you need to do. All right. So I appreciate all of you. We will see you here 7 days from now. And as always, it's been a plum-pleasing pleasure to be here with you this morning. Make it a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.